Well, hello again, fellow GAS team members, my partners in this pandemic. It's Dan Brzezinski again, coming to you from a little bit of a different location. Inside my upstairs of my condo. It's a little flurries outside. It's nighttime. I'm in between my binge watching from Netflix, and so I thought I'd give you a quick update on things going on with the pandemic as well as the company. So first, as I always like to start off, kudos to the men and women doing great work keeping our customers safe in the field. You guys and gals are on the front lines, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Great video from Renee and Deb earlier in the week around PPE and post-job brief, all really important parts of our safety picture. So we are into month 2. I've stopped counting the weeks, now we're counting the months. But the good news is it seems to be working where there's a lot of discussion about flattening of the curve in Michigan. So the good work that we are doing by staying home and really starting to fight this virus from spreading is really paying off. If you remember in my last video, I had a few updates to give. I wanted to give you an update on where we're at on that and some other things as well, and some topical stuff to talk about as well. So really, if you remember, we talked about the K-line replacement. That went really well. The cutout went well. The replacement and the tie-in will happen later in the summer, after we get past a lot of these stay-at-home orders. We had our first rotation of home reserves for field operations and went well. A real big logistical challenge there, so great job there. We just finished up our spring Gallup survey, 63% participation, slightly higher than the corporate average, which is great. We should have the results back on that sometime later in April. And really, it'll be good to see, kind of what's on people's minds given the new normal of this pandemic. We also dodged a real big issue this week with the high winds. We were expecting almost 100,000 customers out, but we only got 25, which was great. Weather was a little bit milder, but it was also a good testament to the tree trimming and line clearance work that we've been doing over the years. And the MPSC really appreciated and noticed it, that we didn't have as many outages with the winds. Now, I can't say that the weather was totally great all across the state. I got this picture from my buddy Greg Lundberg over in Escanaba Station. Shout out, kudos to all the men and women north of the bridge. You can see the truck there, 6 inches of snow. We actually had blizzard warnings up in the Marquette area. So really, winter isn't over up there yet, so stay safe on the slippery roads. As I mentioned last time about return to work, we expanded that now to include other groups and to plan their return. TSO, engineering, design, compliance, integrity, meter shop, HPP, AC season coming up. So a lot of good work going on there, as well as our sequestered groups of gas dispatch, gas control, and TSO. Now, we've been getting some questions about this. What's this sequestration all about? Tell me a little bit more. I'd like to peek inside the tent of kind of what's going on there. So I put a shout out to all the folks in the sequestration areas to send me some pics, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update there. So as we think about staying at home or home reserve, the folks in sequestration, for the time that they're on, they work, but they don't go home. They either go to a hotel or we have RVs, or they stay on site. And when they're off, they work and then they come home, but they have to stay quarantined at home to protect them. This is a small group, highly skilled, very critical to managing and operating the gas system. So really, really important roles. We want to protect them. We want to isolate them. We want to prevent them from becoming infected or sick. So we really have been in sequestration now for almost 3 weeks. So how's it going? Feedback from the folks on the first rotation has been generally good. And really the accommodations, they do vary. We have the gas control and gas dispatch groups this past time were actually put up at the Motor City Hotel, and you can see a picture here of some of the folks from gas dispatch in the lobby, and you can see the medical screening area in the background there. The groups out at TSO and now Willow are remote locations, so they will stay on site, and they are in RVs. And you can see a picture here of some of the RVs at TSO. And then there's another picture of the inside of the RV. So, they're nice accommodations. They still are RVs, so we recognize that, and we appreciate everyone's support in that. The Willow folks, it's a little bit of a bigger operation. You can see a picture here. We call it Camp Willow. We've got about 5 or 6 of them there. But the teams, they enjoy to get to go for walks on site, get some fresh air. The food is so far so good. It's good. You can see a picture here of one of the TSO kitchens, well stocked. Folks are trying to stay active as they need to. You can see a pic here of one of our gas dispatch folks, in a hotel room with some weights. Some of the gas control sites and TSO have actually exercise equipment there. And you could see a picture of a tech out at TSO, and this is John. You could see a real positive look on his face, and really that got that positive mindset. I love that. The downside is the off days are long. They're shift work, so it's not 7-day work weeks. So those days are long, and they're filling them as best they can with FaceTime and Facebook with friends and family and the kids and the friends of the kids. And so we're finding also, as I mentioned earlier, the rotation was a good thing to do, and 2 weeks is about the limit, really, because people were ready to get off of the 2 weeks and visit with their family as the next shift comes on. Gas dispatch is actually using Q&A and best practice sharing and kind of showing each other the ropes. And so there's a lot of cascading between the groups of little tips and tricks and things to think about as they go into sequestration. I wanted to give a thanks to the folks that helped set up sequestration, the leaders, Amy, Joyce, and the facilities group. Here's a picture of Jenny, who was Amazon's best friend for all the bedding and supplies that were needed for the Willow station. Great job in getting this set up really quickly. And I'll leave you with this shot from one of our techs at Bell River. Thanks again. You all in sequestration are really the embodiment of our service keys in action. And there's a little nod to the U of M fans. So I wanted to be fair with the Michigan State call out the last time. The final area I want to talk about is outside of gas. I like to talk about a little bit of different things across the company, and it's how we are serving our customers in customer service. So customer service is working remotely. So our call center, close to 600 people, are working remotely. So how's it going? Well, it's going great. Absenteeism is down. The morale is good. Now, we got connection problems, Wi-Fi issues with some of the more rural locations and whatnot. So it's not without its hiccups, but overall, our average speed of answer is good. Handle time's a little bit up just because, pandemic questions, there's a lot of, the complexity of the calls is a little different. We've got more payment plans out there for customers. We're trying to connect small business into the stimulus money, collections, and disconnects. We've dialed those back. Customer satisfaction is up, complaints are down. The return to work proposition for this group is they're in no rush because things are going well. So it starts to, because if they do go back to work, they got to have PPE and they got to be social distancing. And so as we think about this function, as well as a lot of other functions, now that we're a month into this working remotely, the new normal, we might rethink the normal and really start to blend a bit of the best of both together. What was the old and now this new working remotely. So there's a lot of interesting things, I think, as we think and we talk about things are going to be different in the future. Those are elements I think are going to be different. So really good job going on in customer service and Angie and her team. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the good work that they're doing as well. So I wanted to wrap up and if you do have any good recommendations for good Netflix series that I can continue my binge watching, send me a note. I'd love to plug into it. But I thought I'd leave you with a quote I saw from Shoshana today out of The Lord of the Rings. In her ICS update, and I thought it was kind of appropriate a little bit for these times. It's from the main character Frodo, who has entrusted with the ring, and he's got the weight of the world on him, and he's feeling like the world is coming down on him. And he says, I wish it need not have happened in my time. And the reply was, so do I, and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. truly poignant and really good words indeed. And I think, the time that's been given to us, how we are stepping up to the plate, has been amazing. So that's it for me. Stay safe, stay focused, stay positive. Until the next time, take care and thanks for watching.